I want to show you a Reebok ad which is featuring a shoe, a basketball shoe by Jay-Z, which is just riddled with subliminal satanic messages. And the first one is obvious. It's staring you in your face, but there's more. There's much more. What you first need to understand, for anybody that's not familiar with these symbols, is that they're always speaking in a language that they think that you don't understand. A symbol is a picture, and a picture is worth 1,000 words. Let's get through some of these words here. The first thing that you understand is that he's making the symbol for the pyramid, which is the symbol for the all-seeing eye, which all of you equate and should equate to the Illuminati, rightly so. But this is going to go directly back to the Antichrist, and I have some scripture which will support this. The next thing that you need to understand is that in this phrase, game tight, we're going to find a hidden 666. As above, so too below. That which was up shall become down. That was down shall become up. Alright, now we have the 6 here, perfectly made. The 6 here, perfectly made. And the 6 here, perfectly made. Now that's not coincidence, that's by design. 666, remember, is also the number of the Antichrist. The next thing that we need to look at is this G. He's got the Masonic G on his wristwatch. Now, the Masonic G directly relates to geometry. A lot of people think that it has something to do with God, and it does, but the main meaning is geometry, and it's geometry for a reason. They use geometry to control the terrestrial spirit energy. And you got to think of it like this. It's a formula, which is what you know of as magic. The geometry is the formula that they use to manipulate the energy, or even the terrestrial spirit energy, which you and I are. So there's a big thing happening here with this geometry that most people are unaware of. So the next thing that we need to look at, if we're going to look at the whole ad, we have down here where it says, I am what I am. Well, that's another reference to the Antichrist, because that's exactly what Christ says here in John 8:58. Jesus said unto them, Verily, verily, I say unto you, before Abraham was, I am. And then we have here, and it says, I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. Now, Christ is the I am. But remember, the Antichrist is trying to reflect everything in a dual nature. He becomes the antithesis of Christ. This is where we find out why the Illuminati use the one eye. This is why they block the right eye and only show the left. This is the Antichrist. This is where we get it from. Woe to the idle shepherd, the reflection of Christ, being cast down, that leaveth the flock. The sword shall be upon his arm, and upon his right eye. His arm shall be clean dried up, and his right eye shall be utterly darkened. When you see them doing this, they are always covering their right eye, leaving the left exposed, and they are giving tribute to the Antichrist, which is this idle shepherd, which is soon to lead the flock to destruction for all who sign his lease of illusion. Now the next thing that we need to see here is that we have the very telltale symbol of as above, so too below, which is what I've already told you is that dual nature of the knowledge of good and evil. Check out two of its meanings. This is as above, so too below, which symbolizes the union of the sons of God with the daughters of men. Now you know in Genesis 6, when those sons of God came down and took to themselves the daughters of men, this is the result. This is the superimposing of that knowledge of heaven, the fallen knowledge of heaven, upon the daughters of men, which results back to that knowledge of good and evil, which you have already learned so much about, which reflects their dual nature. They are always trying to reflect a dual nature in the embodiment of themselves. So I hope, my friends, that what you see here, the God proclamation, as above, so too below, the reflection or the projection in space-time, the manifestation that they try to create. Thank you for listening.